Folk is not and should not be viewed as a news source. Any names, places, or likenesses mentioned are purely fictional, and any information discussed is purely speculative. Guest opinions are their own and do not reflect those of anyone else. Wherein the Folk is not responsible for content accuracy of any stories that are told or what people do with these stories. This show is vulgar, sometimes graphic, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone actually.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Wearing the Folk.
Hello.
And we got a little something for you right at the beginning here.
The biggest problem is TikTok. It's not global warming. It's not access to healthcare, welfare, boring. Corruption at the top. Citizens getting shot. With all that's going on right now, the perfect time for banning TikTok, baby. We're coming for your TikTok, baby. No, the most important problem's TikTok, baby. We're coming for you, TikTok, baby. For sure.
Welcome, Alan. How you doing?
Hey, Alan.
Hello. I'm glad you got to catch that, Alan.
You've been setting that one up all week, haven't you?
Yeah, I found that. I think that's hilarious.
I thought it was funny too. So they have agreed to ban TikTok unless somebody buys it, like a Elon Musk. My wife said somebody said Mr. Beast was coming for it. Hey, Steven. Hey,
I heard that too.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. It's not a big loss to me, but she loves it. So I'm like, oh, that's a bummer.
It's a big loss for me.
Mo's having a meltdown.
I watch it for about 10 minutes every morning.
I watch it when either Tully or Mo sends me something.
Yeah.
I'll watch it and then I'll flip through a few things and I'll go like a bunch of Mandy stuff and then I get back off.
Yeah. So I want to get started on the fog because I forgot to make this correlation between the mysterious fog that's making everybody sick across, I guess, the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember during the Black Plague what one of the rumors was that the plague doctors were walking around spraying a mist?
Oh yeah,
lingering there. It's really weird that there's a correlation between like the Black Plague and the pandemic that was and this new fog. You know what I mean? I wonder if that has any like kind of connection.
I mean, who knows? Like we talk about old world technology, that very well could have been some sort of, the patent from 1925 may have just been a rediscovery of technology.
Very true, huh? It's very strange, very unprecedented times we live in at this moment. But I don't know. There's one thing that I want to get off my chest. London, Kentucky was supposed to get Popeyes last August, and we still haven't got it. And I'm pretty upset about it.
I'd be upset too. That
they put these $10,000 cameras on the roofs, but they can't bring a Popeyes franchise in. You know what I mean? It's not fair.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah. We're getting a Zaxby's though. I don't even know what the hell Zaxby's is. Never.
They're okay.
Ain't that chicken?
Yeah, it's chicken, but they, instead of just having like chicken and fries and stuff, they have salads and you can get chicken sandwiches, and they have their biggest claim to fame for me is they have buffalo chicken French fries.
Okay.
It's a layer of fries. It's a layer of fried chicken, some ranch sauce, and some buffalo sauce. It's pretty good.
I don't know who's trying to suppress my chicken intake around here, but Slim Chickens is not it.
No, dude, Slim Chickens is such a ripoff.
Yeah.
They're brownie dessert in the jar.
I'll take pot pies any day of the week.
Yep.
I'll take Cane's any day of the week. Chick-fil-A, sure, why not? Mm. And that's about it. Wingstop would be cool. But anyway, that's
I've
enough
got-
of me being fat.
I do have a Friday feel good that I wanted to socialize. It's a video.
Okay.
So I just want to get everybody's opinion on this. This seemed weird to me when I saw it.
Seems
Not-
a bit weird.
Not even just the dude, but the story's weird as well. Let me see.
Coles will ban the sale of kitchen knives in supermarkets across the country after one of its staff was stabbed allegedly by a 13-year-old in Ipswich, Queensland. Knives will be available for redemption at the service desk until next Tuesday. But after that, they'll be withdrawn pending a review.
So that blew my mind when I saw it.
I don't understand. Yeah, it's a tragedy. Some 13-year-old kid stabbed somebody that works at one of your stores. You can't ban knives. Like, people need knives. People's going to be out here trying to fillet stuff with a friggin' fork. You can't do it. I've tried it. It's impossible.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like some places just take it way to the extreme. Like, are you going to ban rocks if somebody throws a rock at somebody? You know what I mean?
You know, if they ban rocks, I'm screwed. I mean, I literally have them everywhere.
Well, and that lines up with another story that I had a couple of weeks ago that we never got to. There's a dude that was arrested in the UK for causing anxiety on Facebook. And somebody's like, well, shouldn't the police be arrested for also causing anxiety?
Yeah.
Like causing that guy anxiety. So it's just an endless loop of people being arrested for anxiety.
You know, they have a whole different set of rules in Europe for social media and stuff. You cannot say things, you know, that are threatening
Hey, Lando.
on social media in Europe because they can arrest you. I mean, there was one woman that went on this rant. I think she was from Germany, and it was when the Syrian war was going on, and they were letting, you know, some refugees come in and everything. And she got on this rant, and it was racist as hell. There's no question, but they arrested her and she served time.
Well, I'm just like,
you know,
yeah.
they it's crazy, some of the stuff.
It's like we always say, like, even if somebody wants to post stuff like that, you would want to know who's like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like I guess you would call it like a free speech absolutist.
I am too.
And I think that the TikTok thing, I disagree with the Supreme Court. I think it is a free speech infringement.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, well, I've seen this all over the internet. It's not about freedom of speech. It's about freedom of reach. Like, they're saying that the wrong people are being allowed to talk on TikTok is what it amounts to.
That's exactly what it is. And not everything gets through on TikTok either. Like, stuff gets banned all the time on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My thing that I posted about it, they let it get up to 200 views and then sent me an email asking for $10 to get more views.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that, I think that's what a lot of it comes down to. Also, is the fact that they're just not able to make money off of it. You know, if the American government could make money off of it, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Well, that's not even true either. Like,
they
they do make money. They make a ton of money because there's a lot of American people making money off of that, paying taxes.
TikTok paid them $5 billion in tax revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a substantial amount.
There's and maybe we'll play it at the end of the show, but there's a video that I found of Mitt Romney basically coming out and saying that he's like, you know, the reason why it's so easy to get TikTok banned is because it's the only place where people can talk about Palestine or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it, you know, just basically saying the quiet part out loud. It's more than just that, though. Meta broke lobbying for TikTok to be banned.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, out of the 500 or whatever members of the politicians, you've got like 17 that aren't taking money from AIPAC. So, they can do whatever they want to. Like it.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked about that too. Almost everybody in Congress has a TikTok account.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, practice what you preach. And, I'm all about free speech too. My thing is, because I had somebody one time tell me, oh, well, political correctness is getting out of hand. No, political correctness at its core just means don't be a dick. So maybe if you're being a dick, it's time to shut up, But by the same token, I can walk away. I know how to block you. I know how to unfollow you. I don't have to watch you.
That's the thing. People so scared that they're going to accidentally see something that makes them upset. If I see something that makes me upset, I don't look at it anymore.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
My
like,
thing is, don't come to my space.
Yeah.
With it, because I've had a couple of people that I've unfollowed because for the same thing. You and I can have a debate. We can argue or whatever. But when you start losing and then you start getting disrespectful, we've got a problem. If you can't carry on a debate like an adult, then back off and go away.
Yeah.
Well, I've gotten really good about, okay, instead of me saying, okay, look, you little asshole, I just unfollow them. But now when you come to my page and start posting that bullshit, then all bets are off because you've gone out of your way knowing that, I walked away from this. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I completely agree. But we really do have a Friday feel good. I know we went straight into rage bait. But,
that's all right.
It's the Friday feel good that you sent, Morgana. I don't know if you want to hit it.
I'll be happy to. I have a coworker that is from Kentucky, and she and I started about a year ago to see who has the craziest citizens, Mississippi or Kentucky, and we go back and forth. Some days it's us, some days it's you guys. Today she won. So, a hearty shutdown sparked drama in Bardstown, Kentucky. In an unprecedented turn of events, the Bardstown Hardee's drive-through speaker announced its dramatic exit from the fast food world with a sign that has left locals clutching their sweet tea in disbelief. The handwritten note, now a viral sensation, claims that the restaurant is permanently closed due to Deborah and her alleged extracurricular activities involving everybody's baby daddy. Customers rolling in for their morning biscuits and gravy were greeted with a salacious message instead of the aroma of sizzling bacon. I thought it was a prank, said local resident Janet Thompson, but then I remembered this is Bardstown and drama is our main export after bourbon. So while the note offers no further explanation, rumors have been sizzling like burgers on a griddle. Some speculate Deborah was a Hardee's employee whose personal life became too intertwined with the morning shift crew. Others claim the note was penned in frustration by a fellow worker who simply reached their limit with Bardstown gossip. The fallout has been significant. The Bloomfile community page and Nelson County Underground are on fire with debates, memes, and conspiracy theories, with one resident declaring, "This is why I stick to Cracker Barrel. No Deborah, no drama." Meanwhile, Hardee's corporate headquarters has yet to comment.
That's a shame.
Can't Deborah have some fun?
Right.
Yeah. What's the problem? What is the
We
problem?
can't kick no staff because Deborah's banging everybody, baby daddy. You gotta stop banging everybody, baby daddy.
And I was just really upset because we have one Hardee's within reach of my house, and they're only open from 5 a.m. till 2 p.m. because they can't find people to work. But I've yet to see.
You got a Deborah in your town too.
They're not advertising it though.
I put money that Deborah was the biscuit maker. If you ain't got a biscuit maker, that whole place shuts down.
That is very true.
That's true.
Is very true. But they've got damn good biscuits.
Oh,
oh man.
So there was an article that came out that I didn't get to include because it just came out, but apparently it has come to light that United Healthcare, the employer of Brian Thompson, who was ex-NAID apparently they have been found to have overcharged some cancer patients for drugs by over 1,000%.
No.
Wow.
So OptumRx, the group's pharmacy benefit manager, along with its two main peers, have pocketed an extra 7.3 billion
Wow.
over cost thanks to price gouging, according to the findings of a report by the FTC. CVS Caremark RX blasted the findings for cherry picking certain drugs. So rather than to be like, "Oh yeah, that's crazy," they're like, oh, "You're just picking and choosing ones that we inflated."
Right?
The report, which levels the same allegations at CVS and Cigna, is the latest indictment of America's broken healthcare system. And they're talking about, so they got $7.3 billion off these pokes on drugs. So the drug in question cost to make for wholesale is $10, and it resulted in a retail price. Well, this is just one example in the mix. There was tons of examples, ultimately culminating to 1,000%. But the retail price of that $10 drug would be $110 instead of $10.
My favorite thing about that is when they say you just pick and choose what you want to do. That's like if you get pulled over drunk and you're like, "Oh no, I was swerving, but I was going the speed limit." Like,
Right.
Yes. The markup rate also applied to specialty therapies to treat leukemia, and all kinds of other, like all the way down to like pulmonary hypertension. And the drug needed by HIV positive patients quadruples from the acquisition cost. So they really are out here just like reaming people on drug prices.
And it's even worse. It seems like the sicker you are, the more apt they are to do it.
Yeah, not only reaming people on drug prices, but as you saw last week, if you were tuning in, a lot of the drugs also cause adverse reactions like bleeding in between your, you know.
And I brought that up. I did some research, and I was in fact taking one of those heart pills.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I don't think that's what's caused my issues. I didn't have rectal bleeding from that.
It's hard to tell, huh?
I have a migraine shot that I was taking, and the only reason I was taking it was because the company that made it had a program that you could get it if you made under a certain amount. Then they changed their guidelines, and I can no longer afford it. But I mean, the damn shot's $850 a month.
That's crazy. That's just nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I know people that live right on the border of Mexico, like down in Brownsville and places like that, and they just go across the border and get their medications. Most of them over counter, by the way. Like that Ozempic shot. I know a person that's taking it, they're paying like $12, $15 for it.
Yeah.
In Mexico. I don't know how much it is here. It's a lot more.
I can tell you that I take it every week, and I take it for diabetes, not for weight loss. But with my insurance, it's $25 a month.
It's not bad.
But without insurance, it's $1,300 a month.
There you go.
Well, I brought I want to share another video. I brought one for Cecil this week.
Yay.
This is an update on the Chat GPT development.
I've quit using it. I used it for about 4 days, and then I was like, it started like not letting me do what I wanted to on it. So I was like, well, screw you.
So you'll see that this man has he's developing something for a construction company. He has a pneumatic nailer attached to this robot.
We've seen this, ain't we? Oh
no, no, this is new. This is just his update on his development of construction equipment.
Sweet.
So
ChatGPT, begin color tracking on the color black. tracking color to yellow.
I'd have been real careful about using blue with a blue shirt on.
Yeah.
So-
Stupid.
This is a new product I'm developing. It's a fully automated AI-enabled pneumatic nailing tool. And I think this is going to be super transformational for the construction industry in 2025. So keep an eye out for more updates.
How do you think that's going to do construction?
Because you got to nail planking from 15 feet away.
Yeah.
yeah.
Again,
You know, my pneumatic nailer will not shoot unless you put pressure on it.
Exactly.
see, it makes it hands free.
I hear you. Well, hey, I've got some news. I was reading this at lunch today. It's about AI too. So Elon is fixing to go from cars to robots. He plans on having 7 million robots out in population by 2027.
Yay.
That's a short time frame for that many
I
robots.
know, but that his end goal is 5 robots to every 1 human.
Where's the lithium coming from? You know what I mean? There's not enough lithium for 7 million robots.
Was that the same thing I used to take when I was a kid? Lithium?
I don't think so. I don't think you could go eat like a handful of lithium.
They had me on something like that when I was young.
Well, there is a
drug
medicine.
called lithium.
Oh, yeah.
It's for paranoid schizophrenia.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right. But I don't know. I heard that they already have some of the Tesla robots at Mar-a-Lago. Am I wrong on that?
No, they do.
They probably do.
They do.
And
they've
they've
got
probably
the-
got a warehouse somewhere full of them. They're just waiting for the okay and the regulations to
Another
push
thing
them
they
out.
at Mar-a-Lago are the robot dogs.
That was a gift, apparently, since there's been so many assassination attempts.
You know, I'm still.
I don't trust them.
Always fall back on iRobot.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
Sonny was awful smart.
Landa, you don't have to worry about them taking our jobs because they had a robot working a factory job, and after 10 minutes, it shut itself off.
because it was just depressed.
Yeah, it was depressed, so it shut itself off.
Well, we played a video last week, Morgana, while you were out. So they have one of those Tesla robots, and they're letting it watch our robot. And when Will Smith shoots one of the robots, the Tesla bot goes.
Yeah, like steps back.
So they're like training it in fear of all things.
Oh wow, that's all you want is something scary, because you scared is a lot more dangerous than you pissed off.
Yeah,
because I can't judge what you're going to react to if you're scared.
right.
And then you're going to put something that I can't just shoot and take down. You know,
I have to start walking around with EMP emitters. Like,
Yes, last week I decided that I didn't need a chunk of my thumb on my left hand, and this week I have proven to myself just how much I use that thumb.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you use them a lot more than you think.
Oh yes.
Something that we got to hit on because it's in the promo. We had the picture of the alien Pope. The Vatican apparently is cracking down on illegal entry into its territory. And now, if you're caught there without the right documents that are signed, the monetary fines range from $10,000 to $26,000 and prison sentences from 1 to 4 years of being caught illegally in the Vatican.
That's not.
What are they hiding?
What are they hiding? Exactly. What are they hiding in the Vatican? It's considered the smallest state in the world with only 800 people.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're literally hiding everything. Like that's what they're hiding. They're hiding everything about our existence and our history.
Yes.
Yes. That is definitely one place I would like a week just to be let loose in.
Well, and
I don't
this
think
is,
there'd be enough time.
it's explicit that the penalties will be increased if it's committed with the use of firearms, corrosive substances by a person in disguise, which I think is really particular to have that in there, or several people together. So you
So
can't
I can't put on my nun's habit and walk up in there like I belong.
right, or CIA mask up like a cardinal.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, they could like say it's because of the structures and not wanting people to destroy stuff, but I mean, there's really no other reason besides they're hiding a bunch of shit there.
I was gonna say, but how often is this actually happening?
Probably a lot.
You think?
Yeah, I say a lot of people are trying to sneak in that place all the time, especially lunatics like us that have a little bit.
Okay, you know, we're different.
Like
we're special. We're so special.
Do you remember that Saudi Arabian mirror wall that they're building?
Yeah, it's going to be a city.
Yeah, but you know what? Can you find a picture of that?
Yeah, probably. That's
because we'll hit on that too. But while he's pulling out the picture, so the government isn't done with just TikTok. This is just the first instance of them taking away something that they don't like because there's dissent that they don't like within that app. This week, they have taken aim at a video game company. It's called Riot Games. They own a lot of stake in a lot of different companies that make a lot of popular games. And they have been classified by our government this week as a military company. They're Chinese, of course. And they produce League of Legends, which is a super popular game. They own Epic Games. They have stake in Larian Studios, FromSoft Software, which makes like the Dark Souls games, Elden Ring, Crafton, Ubisoft. They own 11% of Ubisoft, which is a huge, huge company. Activision Blizzard, they have stake in. Games. So they're involved in a lot of video game development, and they have just been classified as a military company. So they're saying they also make electric vehicle batteries, but they have been added to a federal register that implicates private businesses with ties to the People's Liberation Army, the military wing of the CCP. There aren't necessarily any sanctions that could arise, but it does discourage U.S.-based companies from engaging in business relations. This has caused a lot of panic this week, as you can imagine, because the video game industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, probably $1 trillion industry. The company came out and said that we are not a military company or supplier. Unlike sanctions or export controls, this listing has no impact on our business. We will nonetheless work with the Department of Defense to address any misunderstandings. So there's a lot of questions there, like how do you misunderstand a video game company as a military contractor?
They make war games.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But yeah, Cecil, if you want to pull that picture up.
Sure. I got it right here. So this is going to be called The Line. It's going to be a 100-mile smart city. They actually estimate it to be 110. But it's going to be mirrored on both sides, and it's just going to be one line across the Saudi Arabian desert. And this is kind of what they hope it looks like after everything's done. Yeah.
Yep. It almost looks like a mirror, like it's got mirrored walls on it.
Yep. And there'll be a whole city inside the walls, all for 110 miles there. Yeah. Smart cities are a thing that they're pushing everywhere. And with LA fires, I mean, it's quite possible what's going to be rebuilt there is going to be probably like a smart city, more than likely.
So I guess the leader is Mohammed bin Salman, and he's the one that had the original vision for the line. There's a documentary that came out that claims that 21,000 laborers just so far have died working on this project.
Sounds right.
It says more than 21,000 Indian, Bangladeshi, and Nepalese workers have died in Saudi Arabia since 2017, working on different aspects of the Saudi Vision 2030. Workers also say that under current conditions, they are trapped slaves and beggars. They've reported wage theft, illegal working hours, and human rights abuses. And in addition, more than 20,000 indigenous people were also forcefully removed from the region to make way for the line. And just to add insult to injury, we haven't heard anything about this in American news. This is actually from an Australian outlet. So yeah, that's how that's going.
Is it enclosed?
It will not be, but it's got like mirrored walls on both sides for like energy purposes, I think. And like cars aren't going to be allowed. It's walk-in only. It's supposed to be like the city of the future or what have you, which again, you know, like other metropolises of the past, like it's built on the backs of slaves, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that really should be a lot bigger news than what it is, but that is barely, like, I haven't seen a word about it in American headlines. And that's how they pick and choose, because, you know, we've also talked about the slave camps that they have in China too.
Yeah.
And, you know, nobody will say anything about that on any mainstream news organization, because they can't. They literally can't.
I had me a light go out and I can't find the cord, so it's all good.
It looks fun.
Yeah. Of course it does. I'm in the frame.
That's right.
Yeah, the smart cities are kind of terrifying to me, because it sounds like what they want to do is just wrangle everybody into a 10-minute city, is what I think they call them, to where everybody will live their whole life within this 10-minute cube, essentially.
What was that movie? Demolition Man?
Yeah.
That the way that they lived, you know, everybody, you know, they monitored television, you know, and yeah.
You know, one of the peculiar things, well, I sent you guys some pictures. I don't have them handy, but did you see the blue things that were left untouched in LA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one of the headlines that I thought was weird this week is that LA's deputy mayor has been placed on leave after the FBI raided his home for making a bomb threat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't that sound peculiar? Like that, it sounds like somebody like took him out before he could talk about something.
This was supposedly months ago that he made this threat, wasn't it?
I haven't got that far in the article.
Okay. Oh no, not a problem. But yeah, I think that I mean, I
Yes.
agree with you. I think that
Yes.
the timing of them, you know, raiding his home and all this stuff.
Yeah, well, that makes it even stranger, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But
'Cause
yeah, I see
you
that
know-
now. It says earlier this year.
Right. So if you know, the fires are a big thing, and I have not seen nearly as much about fires this week as, you know, I think we should have seen. But I did hear about the deputy mayor getting arrested for a bomb threat.
How fast did the New Orleans stuff go away?
Oh yeah.
And the Las Vegas stuff. That went away like that.
What happened in New Orleans and Las Vegas?
Well, and not even that. They're barely talking about it, and they are completely silent on the other 3 pop bomb layers in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Not another word about that.
I did hear that they backpedaled on the we're paying for everything, and now it's when you first apply, you're going to get $770. Yes, because I watched the guy was commenting on that, because he's like, "Oh my God, they're getting $770. North Carolina only got $750. What kind of bullshit is this?" And I'm like, "Oh my God."
Oh, I did.
It's not even that. Like in North Carolina, they've not really rebuilt anything.
No, they haven't.
but they're going to rebuild at 100% everything in Los
Uh-huh.
Angeles. It's going to
Yeah.
be the smart city, is what it's going to be.
Oh yeah.
I've got
Oh, yeah.
this goes right along with what we're talking about. Let me play this. This is the line 7 days ago to get propane in North Carolina.
Wow. But God forbid the Amish come in and try to build houses.
Yeah, it says there. Well, we talked about it a little bit. It says that a lot of people are having to use 10 gallons of propane a day to keep warm right now, and
Yeah.
that's why they're lined up like this.
Propane is not cheap either.
No.
What Hank Hill says. It's actually really expensive because whenever we had our electric out, we had to use propane. That one, not this last snowstorm, but a couple ago. And I think it's like $95 or something for 30 gallons or something, somewhere around there.
Yeah, not cheap, and these people are probably waiting hours and hours to fill up their tanks.
100%. And I mean, they're not one so I'm surprised that they can project to have enough for everybody that's in that line, because when we had it, that snowstorm around this area, finding propane was like you were going out into the apocalypse to find food. It was very hard to find any.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. It's a rough situation.
I guess in the time that we have left, I know there's articles that we didn't get to, but I mean, what do you all? I mean, do you feel like something big is going to happen between now and Monday? Do you think that? I mean, do you think something big is going to happen in the next couple of weeks? Even it just seems like there's a lot of tension right now. Like it just seems everywhere. Like there's a lot of tension, whether it be the TikTok thing or the bombings or the fires. It just seems like thing after thing after thing after thing. And then all week it's been, well, they're banning TikTok. They're not banning TikTok. They're banning TikTok.
Oh yeah. This morning they were literally not banning TikTok, and 2 hours later the Supreme Court said they're banning TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, and then after that, it came out that Joe said that he wasn't going to enforce it. And so
no, he's not. That's what I heard right before we got on, that he was going to let the Trump administration.
So who knows? I just feel like it's like a perpetual gaslight. It almost feels like that they're trying to cause like civil unrest in a way.
It is.
Well, yes.
And I had a video of a spokesperson. I don't know if it's the White House spokesperson. It's the National Security Advisor.
Yeah.
And he said something really strange. I'll share it, but it's thing after thing after thing after thing. And I just don't know, like, to what end. I don't think we need to watch that lady, but
I know her.
We'll say one last word, which is I hope this is my last time at this podium, at least for a little while. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean, the only thing that would bring me back is an unexpected event in the next few days, which, as you all know, is totally possible given everything you've seen over the course of the past years.
I mean, going back to that guy that was arrested for causing somebody anxiety on Facebook.
They would all be arrested, dude. All of them.
Every politician, every media person, hell, even us, like talking about this stuff. We should all be in jail for causing anxiety, because I cause myself anxiety. Like when I look at things, I get anxious, and I shouldn't look at them. I shouldn't continue to read them, but I do. I don't know, man. It's just a weird place that we're in right now, and anything could happen. They've been pushing aliens possibly attacking us. That's insane. Fucking 6 years ago, you would never heard of that. You wouldn't, if you would have said aliens are going to attack us, people would be like, "You're nuts." Now you say, like, maybe. Hell, who knows? That's painful. But I mean, it could literally be anything. Like, I don't know.
You know, I'm going to use the words of somebody else, and I by no means condone this, but somebody was posting, and it had like 1 million likes on it. Somebody was like, "What if we just tarred and feather one?"
One.
like just to see what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
not condoning that either, but that's really.
Yeah. Just pick one.
Uh-huh.
I
And
mean,
to be fair, we could put all their names in a big hat and just
draw
pick
it,
a
yeah.
strange kid off the street. Say, hey man, pull one.
Yes.
That way, it would be totally unbiased.
when's the last time you watched like actual news? I hadn't watched it in a long. It's been years. And one of the things I'm streaming has free news now, and I was like, "Huh, it's got live news. Let me see what's going on." Literally nothing but fear mongrel from the beginning to end. I was like, "This is nuts." No wonder everybody has high anxiety. Like used to on the news, they'd have a little cute story about a puppy or something. You know,
No, none of that anymore.
No, that's one of my coworkers the other day. He asked me something about it was about the California fires. I said, well, I just think it's complete and total bullshit. That they're talking about, oh, we're going to bring it all back at 100%, yada, yada, yada. And then you've got these people that were, hit by a hurricane that never get hit by hurricanes that are still trying to survive the winter. He goes, oh, well, that'll never happen. And I'm like, it's the richest neighborhood in the fucking country. Why would I think that can't happen?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, on the news, I said, I don't watch the news. He goes, then how do you know all this? I'm like, I didn't say I don't follow the news. I do not watch the news.
Yes.
Because it pisses me off.
Well, and you can come to your own conclusions when you follow what's going on rather than following people.
I want to end on another feel good. I just pulled this up. Somebody sent this to me. So over here next to Lake Cumberland towards Somerset, somebody had a trail cam out that live feeds to their phone, and some crackheads stole it and don't realize that it's still recorded, and they're posting pictures of them. Looking.
My favorite one, because the same coworker that gave me mine, is girl with a needle behind her ear like an ink pen.
Yeah. That's
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's this one right here. That's from the road, Morgana. That's from about 15 minutes from me.
I brought some edits too. Let me see. So this is one of the edits that was going super viral this week. So this is a unmanned car, and the unmanned car is driving below a sign that says humans are so 2023. And I'll let you guys watch the edit.
There's a driverless damn car, nobody in the car, with a billboard that says humans are so. The government would like you to know spreading of dangerous misinformation is their job, and they've had
I mean, if it's been a long time since you read that manifesto, I know he did some fucked up stuff, but go back and read that. Did I send you a copy of that, Tully? I think I sent you a copy of that one.
Yeah, I think I do have a copy. And then let's see. I can pull up the video. If you want to go out, I can pull up the video for Folk and Weird to end with if you want.
Oh yeah, for sure. So tune in tomorrow. We're going to be covering the North Hollywood shootout. If you don't know what that is, definitely tune in. I think I did some good research on it.
I think so too.
Yeah, and Morgana, if you want to pop on, I'll send you over what I got and stuff.
Okay.
I'll send it to Tully, and he'll send it to you because I don't know your email address and I won't remember it. But what are you guys covering tonight on Weird Awakenings?
The Wild West.
The Wild West. Getting old Jimmy Dean sausage in there.
That's right.
I don't know. But yeah, you can catch us every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can catch Weird Awakenings every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Weird Realities Network. And we have a couple guests coming up on Wearing the Folk. I think Stan's coming back, and we're going to be talking Atlantis potentially. And you all have a guest coming on Weird Awakenings, who more than likely here pretty soon.
Yep. Her name is Jody, and she owns a haunted house in Georgia. But I think with Stan, we're also going to get into Antarctica, hopefully. So that'll be a really fun one. But if you don't already follow us, go to Rumble or Twitter. Twitter's where we post show updates. Give us a follow. Rumble's got our whole catalog if you want to listen to old episodes.
Yep, and send nudes. And
people really do that though.
I do. The inbox on Twitter is ridiculous. But thank you all for watching us, because we are watching you.
Well, we're gonna have to sit here for a minute until.
Dang.
Could the impending TikTok ban be the last straw for the American people? We usually cover the strange and unexplained, but all things considered, the ban falls into that realm as well. The initial excuse for this ban was explained away by our politicians as a data integrity issue, but as you can see, tons of apps and services you use already sell your data to Chinese companies. If our politicians were concerned with China to the level they would have you think, how would they be able to own hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland in the U.S.? And why was the ban layered in a bill with lots of other random stuff? There have also been massive amounts of money from lobbies persuading our leaders to support this ban, and it was passed on an extremely bipartisan level.
Some wonder why there was such overwhelming support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites, it's overwhelmingly so among TikTok broadcasts. So I'd note that's of real interest.
This really speaks volumes, considering they can't agree on things like making sure there's not dangerous chemicals in our food, housing the homeless, or doing something about inflation before everything becomes unaffordable. We originally thought the ban was about this.
When am I going to get paid for the data you're getting from my children, my grandchildren, my neighbors? I think that's the only way to get your attention, is talk about the money you're making.
But they have been making money, considering TikTok has generated over $59 billion supporting over 5 million small businesses in the U.S., an additional 2 million creators, and paying $5.3 billion in taxes directly to the U.S. government. So if it's not about data integrity and it's not about money, what could the reason for banning this app possibly be? I think most of us already know the answer to that question. But as others have said, what happens when you take away the circus, when people can barely afford bread? What other kinds of countries have suppressed speech and press over the years under the guise of protecting their citizens and national security? Comment what you think about all of this. Give us a follow just in case the ban is avoided.
The ban has not been avoided. But yeah, that was just my take on it.
Yeah. And if it doesn't go away, go over there and check it out. Folk and Weird on TikTok.
So yeah, I'll keep making cryptid videos after this. I hate putting together videos like that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of the last hurrah.
Yeah. So let's do the tagline once again, and thank you all for watching us, because we are watching.